Whoa, man. Please welcome to the stage, man, where am I? The 2018 RockGodz Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. John Good. Come on out here, John.
Wow, thank you so much. Jeez. You know, being here tonight, I want to thank everybody, you know, Sandy and Buster and Cynthia. Everyone's so fantastic to hold this thing. It's a kind of gig that nobody's doing. And I thank them so much for what they do. I mean, because it's not just, I was a drum roadie, you know. They think lighting people, they think writers, they think everyone. And the musicians, they're just so unbelievably great. So tonight I'm here and I've got this incredible man that I want to, you know, present. And I will tell you, not long ago, my partner Don Lombardi, who was up here earlier tonight, and he says to me, he says, "Look, John, who's your lunch guy?" Because I got these famous Olive Garden lunches that I do. People say, "Do you go there every day of the week?" I go, "No, just 5 days a week, you know." And it's in Oxnard. That's where we manufacture. I actually pulled off, getting them to pull the tape off my logo on there. How about that? I'm very proud of Don and everything that we've done together. And so anyway, Don calls me one day not long ago, and he goes, "Listen, what do you have for lunch?" And I said, "Well, you know, you usually have these famous lunches." And I said, "Well, nobody actually." And he goes, "Okay, I need you to be at Sheila's Wine Bar at, you know, right away. Get over here." And I said, "Well, why?" And he goes, "Because it's going to be a cool lunch." So I drive over there, and there's this big stretch limousine outside, and a guy who looks like he just buried somebody, you know, like one of those things with a hat on. And I walked back to the back, and I said, "I'm Mr. Good." And they go, "Oh yes, we're waiting for you back there." And there's this big round table, and it's Don Lombardi, it's going to be myself, Chad Smith, Chili Peppers, right? Charlie Watts, and Jim Keltner. And I sit there and I go, oh my God. You know, it's one of those, if you want to be a fly on a wall, what a place. So Charlie goes, "Jim, could you tell a story about how many bands have you been sacked from exactly?" And so Jim goes into his Jim mode, and he's the greatest storyteller. And he's talking about, you remember when Gary Lewis and the Playboys, they were so much like in that same era of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and they all wanted to do press conferences after the show, instead of like these wild parties and crap that goes on now. But these are like, you know, so you have the card table out and all the microphones, and it's like a big press conference. And they all wore these powder blue suits, you know, with the black trim around the edges. And they did the same, you know, at the end of the song and all that. So that was the time of the world we lived in. Anyway, so it turns out that Jim was a pretty colorful guy, you know, when they get to these microphone moments, and he would just tell these great stories, and he'd just get into it, and everybody would just love Keltner. So, and when Gary got on the microphone, there was like not a lot left to say, and it just wasn't that, you know, big of a deal. So apparently he got upstaged. So I guess that his manager didn't like that very much. So Keltner gets this knock at the door, you know, and it's just like, you know, early in the morning, and they're at some cheese hotel. And he opens the door, and it's the road manager, and he goes, "Look, here's your plane ticket home. You're fired. And we want the suit back." He didn't give the suit back, by the way. So anyway, I mean, there's a million things about Jim Keltner that I could just tell you about, but I found him as a iconic guy, and my company is DW, and I always wanted to make him an icon drum, you know, and I make these things, and most of the proceeds go to the charity of the choice of the artist. So we've made a bunch of these throughout the years. Anyway, so we made this one for Jim. Oh, Scott Donnell, by the way, marketing man. So we made this drum, but I didn't know. I honestly didn't know, what is Jim Keltner's icon? Like Charlie Watts, Lips and Tongues, you know, it's on a snare drum. That's Charlie Watts, right? Mick Fleetwood, you know, you got Rumors on the thing, and I do it all with inlaid wood, which is like a real art form. And so what I'm going to show you in a second is all inlaid wood. But for the life of me, didn't know. So Keltner says to me one day, "Hey," he calls me Johnny. He goes, "Hey Johnny, could you make a Superman's hair drum kit?" So I'm going. He goes, "You read comics, right?" And I go, "Not really." And so he says, this Superman's hair, it's blue-black. I go, "Oh, got it." Okay, so I make this drum kit, the edge of midnight blue, gorgeous, fantastic in my opinion. And so we give it to Jim, and Jim goes, "Oh my God, this is the most beautiful drum set I've ever seen, and thank you so much," and blah, blah, blah. He's been a part of our family since 70-something. Anyway, don't get Jim Keltner bored, because what happened to this drum kit when they were doing rehearsals for Little Village, one of the greatest bands, right? Little Village? I mean, he's done everything, so I can only bring up one. Anyway, so there's these roadies, in which I was one of, and it's got all this multicolored tape. And like stage left is going to be blue for a cymbal stand, stage right's going to be red, you know what I mean. So he starts taping up this drum kit because he's bored, and over my paint job. And it's cool, it's all right, it's Jim Keltner, the coolest guy I know. Anyway, so I said, okay, maybe I'll do the tape. So then the tape happened. Then I thought about, well, wait, what else is Keltner? And I don't know if you've ever seen him. He'll probably prove me wrong tonight, but he always has aviators on. So I had to work in the aviators. And then I thought, what's the other thing? And Don Lombardi said, you got to work in the license plate. So he got his first big deal car. And he just said, ooh-ee. And his license plate to this day is O-O-O-E-E-E. Anyway, so, and he doesn't dig bright things, because, you know, he actually has surgeries on his eyes. So tonight, I just wanted to show you Jim's icon snare. What about that? Well, I just had to show off. I'm really sorry, but I had to. This is all inlaid wood. Anyway, the whole deal is I'm here to present the legend of a man who I dearly love. I can't think of a more iconic, incredible person than the one and only Jim Keltner. Thank you.
Hard to keep from crying. I'm a crier, and I cry easy. And this is a lot of love, honest to God. Everybody should feel this. So I don't know what to say except thank you very much. I know I'm not going to say too much because, you know, I can't believe that y'all are still here. This is a long affair. A worthy one, a wonderful one, a great honor and all of that, and it's half that room down there are my friends. I would love to be able to just call everybody's names out, and I don't know, you know, Bobby Glove, Jesus, Bobby was a baby when I met him, he was just a kid. You know, has gone on to do great things musically, and like he said, he's still doing it. I am too, basically, we all are. You don't stop doing what we do. You know, when you play music, you don't stop, you don't retire. So, I want to thank John Good, I want to thank Don Lombardi from DW. I knew I forgot. Lately I've been forgetting to put my freaking glasses on.
There they go.
You know, I sit here uncomfortable, and then I wonder what the heck's going on. Okay, I forgot to put my glasses on. This is the kind of thing. I had in 2012. I had a corneal transplant, my left eye. So that has made the brain has made it halfway good. I still have the other eye that it's a little iffy. But my wife told me, she said, tonight when you're talking, don't talk about medical stuff. Don't talk about operations and things and stuff. You know. But it's too late. Yeah, I don't know what else to say except thank you all so much. Yeah.